Okay, so let's look at these four. And hopefully you see with these four that we have the inverse of the function. And hopefully you kind of remember from when we were working with inverses and functions that if I have a function and I sub in the inverse, the operations involved fall away and I am just left with x. Now with the inverse functions with trig, we are going to have to look a little bit and make sure that we're allowed to end up with that x, and we'll talk about what that means. So remember, inverse gives us different ranges. So here, range of tan is negative pi over 2 to pi over 2. So as long as this lies inside that range, as long as I'm allowed to get that as an output for my tan inverse, then yeah, it should just be pi over 4. So let's check another one. Sine inverse of pi over 3. Sine inverse only can lie in that area, that span. Pi over 3 does lie in that span though. So this is allowed to just be pi over 3. Again, if I just sub the function into the inverse, operations cancel out. I'm just left with what I subbed in. Cosine inverse of cosine 0. Cosine inverse is that range. So yeah, cosine 0 lies in that range, so this would just be 0. Let's look at this one. Sine inverse of sine of 2 pi over 3. This is the only one that's going to be a little different. Sine is this range. 2 pi over 3 is actually over here, so I can't just say sine inverse of sine 2 pi over 3 is 2 pi over 3, because that lies outside the range of what my inverse is allowed to be. So instead, I'm actually just going to do it. What is sine of 2 pi over 3? Well, 2 pi over 3 would match up with pi over 3. Again, I'm going to bring up my chart. So sine of pi over 3 would be square root of 3 over 2. So I'm going to say it'd be square root of 3. And then it still can see if it's positive or negative. Here, my y is positive, so it's positive square root of 3 over 2. So I'm looking for sine inverse of positive square root of 3 over 2. Well, the thing that gives me square root of 3 over 2, that's sine, we already know because we just looked it up, is pi over 3. So it's going to be pi over 3. And it has to be positive because we got positive square root of 3 over 2. And positive is going to lie here. That is also in our range of sine inverse. So that is just going to be the actual starting point pi over 3.